PIN, the Port Innovators Network, was mentioned several times in the conversation between Mara and Antonio, and the objective of this first session of the conference is just to give you an update of PIN, of this Port Innovators Network. Yes, we would like to share with you some of the things that we have done during this last year. Also to introduce some of the new members of the network, and also to share some of the new initiatives or some of the new pathways for collaboration that we are launching, we are working on. PIN is a global collaborative network of port innovation hubs. This makes us unique. We are the objective of this network is just to connect the innovation communities of the different members of the network, to share ideas, to exchange innovation experiences, to promote best practices, and it is one of the best platforms to facilitate the growth of new technologies and solutions in the port environment at a global scale. This network was launched a couple of years ago here in this same conference by the PIER, the Innovation Hub of the Port of Halifax, by homePort, the Innovation Hub of the Port of Hamburg, and Opentop, our Innovation Hub here in Valencia. Last year, we had the opportunity to present how Cubo Maritime, which is an innovation hub linked to the Port of Açu, Hidrovias do Brasil, and Wilson Sons, also joined the network. Together with Smart Port Lab from the port of Bahía Blanca in Argentina. And today, you can see we have new faces at the table because we have new members. We have Elaine from the port of Tyne, from 2050 Maritime Innovation Hub, and we have Jason Giffen from the port of San Diego, from Bay San Diego. Welcome. They are new members. They joined the network at the beginning of the year, but they are not the newest, as we have Port Vienna and the Port of Esbjerg from Denmark that joined the network also recently. They are innovation hubs linked to an inland port and to a port with a strong specialization in renewables. And they are also today together with us, so you will have the opportunity to meet them and to see them here in a stage later. Okay, I think we can start the conversation, and I think we can start with the new faces. Elaine, we know a bit about the Port of Tyne and your innovation initiatives, as we had the opportunity to have last year here in the conference, Dr. Joe North. But I would like to ask you about how does PIN fit in your innovation strategy, and what benefits are you experiencing from this collaboration in PIN, with PIN?
Does this work? Can you all hear me? Yes, thank you. First of all, I'm really delighted to be here. Valencia is a beautiful city. It's my first time here, so I've had lots of lovely food. I'm a big foodie. To your question, PIN is extremely important towards our strategy for innovation. Those who are not aware, the 2050 Maritime Innovation Hub at the Port of Tyne was set up in 2019, at a time when the UK government wanted to set up innovation hubs. And the Port of Tyne was the first port that put the hand up and say, we'll do it. So that was from a time that we didn't really know very much about, how to set it up. how PIN is integrated, integral to the success of that is pretty much what we've all been talking about. The challenges that ports are getting is increasingly complex. Already we talked about AI and quantum, and we don't always have all the answers. So we're very reliant on solutions generated not just within our region, our UK, but certainly globally, and that's what PIN really brings to us. And in terms of what successes we already started to see, I mean, I think that's a question probably with some of the companies from our accelerator, Venture Connect, who are presenting here, by the way. So I think, I hope they'll confirm what I'm saying here is, you know, PIN is already giving them that shop window to collaborate, I think, going forward. And another example that we mentioned in our meeting yesterday, there is something called PINsight that we run through PIN. It's a session that gives each of the ports the opportunity to present to the other ports. And one of our companies is already setting up an office in Brazil. With our partners. So, you know, we are, that's a true, to me, that's a true example of that collaboration through PIN. Adds a lot of value to what we already do.
So it's a positive experience till now.
It is, for sure.
So maybe we can continue with Jason from San Diego. You are new at this conference, so maybe you can tell us a bit about what is the Blue Economy Incubator that you have in the Port of San Diego, and what are your main innovation challenges?
Of course. Buenos dias y muchas gracias. Coming to you from San Diego, where we know un poco español, just being a little bit north of Mexico. But I just want to say thanks so much to all of our hosts here. Valencia Port, the city, Opentop, the foundation, terrific opening presentation. Beginning in 2016, the Port of San Diego decided to look at where we were with some of our traditional businesses and what we were doing to manage San Diego Bay. We're entrusted by the state of California on the west coast of the United States to manage San Diego Bay. And part of our mission is not just to support maritime and commerce, but also environmental and natural resources. And as a part of that, instead of just providing undiluted funding or grant money to solve solutions, we decided to look at whether or not we could start partnering with businesses. So in 2016, we launched an initiative where we provide permit expertise, as well as some investment. We're investing alongside startups who are coming up with the solutions of tomorrow, just like Elaine was speaking about. And like our colleague and leader from Valencia Port was saying just in her opening remarks, no one can do this alone. So when we start looking at what's the opportunity for the port to engage, through our Blue Economy Incubator, we invest in US companies, of course, but more than half of the portfolio comes from international markets. So part of the reason we engage with PIN, which is made up of very progressive innovation hubs from around the world, we wanted to lean in and really identify what's the best way to identify best-in-class opportunities by partnering with the leading ports from around the globe. And when you think about it, the ports that are here today may not be the largest ports in the world, but they're definitely the most inspiring, the most authentic and audacious, really leaning into innovation, and we're really happy to be a part of that, and that's part of the reason that we joined PIN. And I just have to say to the founding members, Valencia, Hamburg, and Halifax, terrific founding members who have been very supportive. For the newer members, we came on at the same time as the Port of Tyne, and we're looking to complement what the founders have already started to look at by adding to the portfolio natural resources, ocean data, sensing, monitoring, and security. We're doing a little bit of work in aquaculture and blue technology, just to name a few things.
Thank you, Jason. Well, now maybe we can continue with founding members. We can start with David. Maybe you can make us a brief summary of some of the things that we have developed during the year, and maybe also your personal assessment of the year for PIN.
Yes, thank you. And it's fascinating for me. I've been very fortunate to be involved with the Port Innovators Network from the beginning. And I was reflecting last night that 2 years ago, the 3 founding members were gathered here in Valencia to sign a letter of intent on the creation of this network. And when you think about the progress in just 2 short years, it's really quite incredible. And one of the things there is I think that good ideas grow. And the Port Innovators Network is a really good idea. And it's a good idea backed by good people and good institutions. And Jason touched on this a little bit. And there was a fascinating comment from our new partners at ThinkPort Vienna as well yesterday, and I will paraphrase as to how we put it at the PIER, but it's not just what we do, it's how we do it. And the institutions and the people involved in the Port Innovators Network have created this commitment to open collaboration, a commitment to making our industry better, making it more efficient, more reliable, more sustainable, more resilient. And so in the last year, there have been a number of initiatives that we have rolled out or that we are on the cusp of rolling out in the coming days and months. And beyond the initiatives as well are some of the connections that we've made for the companies that we work with. And I guess that's another critical point as well, is this is the first network of port innovation hubs. And it's a really important distinction because our innovation hubs partner with the private sector, they partner with startups, they partner with academia, because these are problems that are larger than just ourselves. We need to be able to find the best ideas, the best people, and the best environment to test these new solutions, and then we need to deploy them around the world. We do not need to hold on to that innovation for ourselves, we need to solve the issues in the industry. And we have members working with the Port of San Diego. When our companies travel, our partners welcome them in their ports, and they can learn about the regulatory systems in those new countries. They can understand what the business opportunities are, the problems they're trying to solve there, if there are potential international collaborations. We had a really successful season of PIN sites, which Elaine mentioned. So 9 of these fully online hybrid sessions. Each port hosts one of these PIN site sessions in person and streams it online across, I think it's now 7 different time zones, 6 or 7 different time zones. And so quite incredible to be able to link these innovation hubs virtually. We've also been working towards the launch of some initiatives to expand upon the access that our members have, the reciprocal access our members have to each other's hubs, to build out the matchmaking between our innovators and the problems that they're trying to solve. And then Jasper is going to share with you a new initiative that we launched today.
So you can go ahead.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the introduction, David. Yeah, as David already mentioned, we've been busy with different initiatives at PIN, but one of them has to do with port challenges. As already mentioned, I think what's really special about the Port Innovators Network is that we have a trusted environment. People from ports and different operative departments really have the chance to talk about what's happening at their ports and also what maybe challenges them. One thing they always see is that ports around the world have the same or similar challenges they're facing, and it makes sense to collaborate in order to find the best solutions to solve these challenges. And that's why we developed this matchmaking service you can see behind me. Here we are in the process of gathering port challenges from our member ports. We're putting them online, and then technology providers can apply to these challenges, introduce the technologies they developed, and our ports are able to find the best technologies for their challenges. So this is a huge help for our ports, and at the same time, so they get access to really interesting technology providers, but at the same time, like a PIN site event, what Elaine and David mentioned, gives them also the chance to talk with colleagues from different port operative units and see how they do things, learn about innovative projects that other ports did, and to solve their problems more innovative and faster.
Thank you. Do you want to maybe go a bit further in some of the challenges that we are showing there?
Sure. Yeah. I can start with a challenge which is not unknown to my port, to Hamburg, but it's also relevant to other PIN ports. So here on the website you can see different challenges ports faces regarding sedimentation, maintaining of our infrastructure, but also K-wall maintenance, for example. If you later enter our website, you can click on all of the challenges and, for example, read a bit more what we put down regarding the sedimentation challenge. Some of the PIN ports, they have enormous effort and costs maintaining our ports, do dredging at our ports, and we are really open as ports to talk to technology providers who can help us to make that more efficient, save time and costs. And this is just one example of how our mother ports, of how PIN helps the PIN mother ports to find solutions for the challenges we're facing. And that's just one. I know for you guys there are other challenges more relevant or more pressing, blue economy stuff, sustainability, but also maintaining infrastructure. Maybe David, you want to say something about that?
Sure, thank you. So as Jasper said, we encourage you to go to the website. Today there are 17 challenges that are launched there. And there are two critical things there. The first is that these are real-world problems that need solving. They need solving in our ports, and they need solving in ports outside of our network. Many of the challenges that you'll see listed there are persistent across our industry. And for port authorities, terminal operators, railways, logistics providers, these are a drag on productivity. They're a drag on doing things the right way. They are a drag on the environment. There might be opportunities to be more sustainable, to accelerate decarbonization. And of those 17, Jasper mentioned the sedimentation challenge. Another one to highlight to you today is the infrastructure challenge. And it really breaks down into two things. The first is the monitoring of infrastructure condition. Ports have extensive infrastructure, often hundreds of acres of infrastructure, including piers, pier faces, or quays, and the infrastructure itself, particularly in Europe, the eastern seaboard of North America, it's aging. In places, it might be more than 100, 120 years old. The physical facility that the pier is located in was built in 1928. And so infrastructure condition, the persistent monitoring or regular monitoring, categorization and prioritization is really important. And for an innovator, there is a commercial opportunity. And for a port, there is an opportunity to do things better, find new and better ways by partnering with innovators to deploy these new solutions. The second part of the infrastructure challenge is on the maintenance, renovation, upkeep of this infrastructure. It's extremely capital intensive. How do we prolong the life? How do we reduce the impact? And the final part of that, which I always found fascinating, and this is why I have unending respect for port engineers, who are, I would say, a different breed in a very good way, is that you're doing this work while the port operates. Much of this infrastructure maintenance, upkeep, replacement, renewal, you don't just shut the port down and leave it for a couple of years. You're rolling it out as the port still operates, and it's absolutely fascinating as a slightly detached outsider to see. But again, this is where we come back to that commercial opportunity for innovators to find new and better ways of doing things. And through the launch of this challenge, we want to be able to bring forward the challenges from our network, present them to our innovators within our networks and outside of our networks. Because if you have a good idea, if you have a product or a solution, you can join one of our networks. You can help us solve these problems.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
I think I might just like to add something onto what Jasper and David were talking about, because we've heard a little bit about PIN and a little bit about where we're going with infrastructure, but all of us are probably in a stone's throw of a river or a coast, and ports are located and the driving force behind not just industry and the infrastructure that was talked about, but they're the engines of economic development that sustain entire regions, and we multiply that across the globe. We have a significant global impact as ports, but it's not just focused on the environment. We're also focused on what we can do to increase and improve quality of life, and that's why expansion of PIN is so important. So now we've got both inland ports and coastal ports, ports across North America and Europe and South America, and it's really beginning to expand, and we want to make sure we're embracing with the most innovative ports with the best ideas that are locally or regionally the pride of their regions, and now we're able to bring that together and really amplify it, and so it's really exciting to be a part of this whole group.
Thank you. Well, I think we are almost on time. I want to thank all the panelists. And well, I think it's a good way to close the panel with this call for action, inviting you to go through the website to look to all the challenges, and maybe you have technology solutions that can respond to any of these challenges. We invite you to contact with PIN. And well, that's all. You can also follow us in the social media, and please a big applause, warm applause for our panelists.